Hi, my name's Kim from best-acupuncture.com, and I help you recover your mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical health naturally. And today I'm going to be talking about recovering from heat-related illnesses like heat stroke or heat exhaustion. You know, a lot of us don't realize that it can take a long time to recover from heat stroke or heat exhaustion. It can take longer than a week. So what can you do to recover faster and more effectively from something like heat exhaustion or heat stroke? Have you ever seen one of these before? It's a bee pond, and all you need is the bottom of a planter and some rocks. Okay, so grab your planter and you're gonna just put some rocks, scatter them around, and then put in water, and don't cover the rocks up. You want to be able to let the bees walk around in a safe place to drink water so that they don't drown. Today is going to be crazy hot at 108 degrees. You know, 10 years ago in my city today, average temperatures were 64 degrees with a maximum high of 79. Well, you know, every 10 years, NOAA updates the average temperatures. So this year was the year for updates. And today, average temperatures are 82 degrees with a maximum temperature of 90 degrees. Well, we just blew past that 90 degrees a month ago with a heat dome at 115 degrees. And today we're back in it. 108, and it's going to be up in the upper 90s, 100 degrees for the rest of this week. So, you know, if you're curious about how your city's average temperatures have been changing, you can find that at the Old Farmer's Almanac, and I'm going to put a link in the video description below if there's not one, you know, right here. What that means is plants have suffered. I lost my whole blueberry crop, and my flowers, they're really small. Check out the episode from 2019, Mason Bees in a Sedum Forest. My sedums were twice as large as they are right now, and they were full of bees. So this excess heat and the smaller flower crop, it's causing a lot of stress on the bees. So one way you can help is with a bee pond. Bees are not the only ones suffering in this heat. I live in a historically temperate climate. Air conditioning is not standard. With this explosive heat, you might find yourself suffering from one of the heat-related illnesses like heat exhaustion or heat stroke. So how do you recover quickly and efficiently from something like that? Well, let's get started. Anyone can suffer from heat-related illnesses because it's so hot today. And if you're in a high humidity area, that's going to make it even worse. So the people most susceptible to heat-related illnesses are going to be older adults and infants, and mainly because they have a difficult time with cooling. And that can commonly show up as difficulty with sweating. But seniors and infants are not the only ones with sweating problems. Anyone can have these problems. And if you think you do not sweat enough and want some ideas on how to correct that, check out my episode, Min Max Cooling the Body, What to Do When Your Body Can't Cool Off. You'll gain some insights that may help you improve your ability to sweat. You might be asking yourself, what's the difference between heat exhaustion and heat stroke? Heat exhaustion can start out with something as simple as nausea or lightheadedness. You can get fatigue or muscle cramping and dizziness, and you can even get a headache or start vomiting. But here's the thing, those symptoms can be so severe that you might find it difficult to get up and walk yourself over to a shaded area. Okay, but both heat exhaustion and heat stroke can be life-threatening. So why does heat stroke require immediate medical attention but not heat exhaustion? The big difference in heat stroke is your body's internal temperature. That temperature that you're going to take with a thermometer, it's going to be 103 or higher. And it's that internal level of heat in your body that can cause damage to your brain, your heart, your kidneys, and all your other internal organs. And here's the thing, a medical facility may be the only place that you can get your temperature down fast enough to avoid damage. Okay, that sounds pretty serious. So, what other signs can happen with heat stroke? Well, you can get this sudden severe headache, and you might have a behavior change where you seem confused, agitated, or disoriented. You might lose consciousness. And these things don't happen in heat exhaustion. So if you see someone experiencing this or if you experience it, get medical attention. Now, here's something interesting. Don't give someone suffering heat stroke ice cold water because it's going to contract the blood vessels, giving them stomach cramps, and it's going to reduce their ability to absorb water. And that's the exact opposite of what they need to do. They need to absorb water to cool off. If you think you're suffering from a heat-related illness, you need to get out of the sun. So drinking water and moving to shade is the first thing you should do. Heat exhaustion can cause enough muscle weakness and fatigue that it might be difficult for you to get up and walk. So if you see someone outside in this heat who looks like they're having difficulty getting up, go offer them help. Resting in a cool, air-conditioned space is going to gradually bring your temperature down, but if you're feeling nausea, it might be helpful to take a cool shower or, rest in a cool bath to help get your temperature down faster. The longer your body stays too warm, the greater potential to damage different areas of your body and slow down your recovery times. Recovery from heat-related illness can take anywhere from 24 hours to a week or longer. And, during that time, you can have nausea, diarrhea, fatigue, muscle cramping, just in general feeling off. So how do you make that time shorter? Well, one way is to get your electrolytes back in balance. And my personal favorite is cucumber juice. Cucumbers have a high level of potassium. In the juice, it's easy on your sensitive stomach because it's light, mainly water, and doesn't have a lot of sugars. So in Chinese diet therapy, cucumbers are cool and they help cool off the body. Now, if you can't get cucumbers, you can do Propel. It's an okay solution. It's just not the best. And I don't recommend Gatorade because Gatorade has a lot of sugar and you're not suffering heat exhaustion from working out, so you don't need the added sugars. And here's the thing. In Chinese diet therapy, the flavor of the stomach is sweet, but when the stomach's feeling ill, too much sweet can make your stomach feel worse. So a little sweet helps strengthen. A lot of sweet can increase your stomach aches, diarrhea, and nausea. You might be wondering about bananas. Well, bananas have a lot of potassium, but too much sweet. And another fruit to look at would be honeydew melons or cantaloupe, and both have a good level of sugar and they have high potassium. Why are you searching for high potassium foods? You want to get your electrolytes back in balance. And your targeted intake of salt to potassium is 1 salt to 4 potassiums. So you're going to focus on high potassium foods because it's easy to get salt today. And potassium is the electrolyte that helps stop muscle cramps. And your body's going to be dumping heat over the next week. So you may be experiencing diarrhea, and taking things like Imodium does the exact opposite of what your body needs to do. Instead of helping your body dump heat, it slows the transit of stool out of your body and keeps heat in your body. But you know what? Nobody likes diarrhea. So what can you do to help get the heat out of your body and reduce the diarrhea? Well, here are some foods that are cooling and detoxing on the body that have a good fiber content and can help with the diarrhea. Eggplant, lettuce, zucchini. Now, those three, they have this special flavor of bitter. And what I like about bitter is it helps drain things downward. So with the fiber and the cooling properties, that's going to help reduce the diarrhea while ensuring you dump the heat. Okay, that's a lot of information. So I'm going to stop here, and next week in part 2, I'm going to go over more information from Chinese dietetics, additional changes to your lifestyle, and changes in your cooking methods that can help you overcome your heat-related illnesses. So remember to put together your bee pond to help out bees in this high heat. Okay, stay safe and healthy, and until next time, I'll catch you on the other side.